Hey friends, welcome to Django Model Unleashed series. So, so far we covered all the uh, field type, most of the field type we covered pretty much, at least pretty much whichever really we are using frequently in most of the real-time project. We covered those stuff, and also we uh, covered the relationship concept, how to have the foreign key, and where do we implement many to many, and those all we covered so far. So as part of this entire series, we are we're going to stick with only models. So models itself have many concepts. So we're going to cover query sets, model managers, and override, and many more. Like mixing is also required. Um, so um, hopefully this entire series definitely uh, will help you guys to understand um, at least some basic level of understanding of having the models and how to create our own customized um, query set and everything by end of this um, series itself. Okay, now this video, especially I want to discuss about the validation in any web application, right? This validation is it's a key part, whether it is validation to show to admin or it is validation is um, showing shows in the front end to the user. It's very important, right? That's why that's where users able to differentiate or users able to understand, hey, this field belongs to for this reason, but we did something wrong, so they will be able to change it. So validation is a key part um, uh, for developing the web application um, in order to um, satisfy the end users, right? So, so today I want to cover the built-in, the Django itself have a couple of built-in validation. So on top of that, what else we can customize um, to have the validation part in the Django admin, right? Because we are um, pretty much focusing on the model itself, so we haven't created any separate forms or we haven't created any views so far. So we'll stick with admin itself. Okay, so let me clear out or comment out a couple of the unwanted stuff because I want to focus only on the post day class model. Also, I don't want this because we are not using this. Okay, now if you let me add um, um, let's say author phone number. So actually it doesn't make sense, right? Having in the post model doesn't require to have the author phone number, but just for validation testing purpose, I want to show you how the built-in validation it's working. So let me clean some format my models itself. Okay, if I let me there is a field type called the integer field. So what I'm going to do is since it is phone number, we can have max length equal to 10, and I want to have null equal to true and blank equal to true. Okay, now we added from admin property, we have to get rid of a couple of items because we commented that. Okay, now we added the new field, right? It's max length. Let's make sure it doesn't have any error. Let's go do the migration and migrate and print server. Let's refresh the admin page. Okay, since we created the new field, let me start creating the new column, new post. Let's say I am having the new post called blog 8 or blog 10. So all the stuff as it is, I don't want to change anything. But if you take a look on the author phone number, right, by default, it is considering only the integer or number of value, right? So what if I change, if I try, even if I try to type characters, it is not accepting the values, right? That is because by default, the integer field type will accept the numbers only. So that is where will not able to provide any strings, right? This is also it's a built-in validation, a built-in validation in Django. Okay, so let me try to actually in integer field we cannot have the validation, right? So what if let me remove all this stuff. If I try to save, what it is throwing? It is throwing an error. This field is required. This is the uh, Django built-in validation. So Django is doing on behalf of us, hey, since you mentioned this value is mandatory field because we haven't provided us null equal to true or blank equal to true on this column, right? So by default, Django was trying to looking for a value in for this field, right? But since we are not providing any field, when you're trying to save, the save means a post, right? We are sending the post request to the database. So while sending the post request, it it was it was trying to run the Django validation module in backend and was sending back the error, say this field is required. So this is called one of the built-in validation is available for all the most of the field in Django. So this is awesome, right? Because we haven't done any customized code so far, but still Django was validating, hey, this field is really required. In order to save this record or save this object into the database, you have to provide some information, right, on this title column itself. So that is super cool from the built-in custom validation perspective. But think about, I'm, let's say I'm providing block title and having the some um, some characters which is not really required, right? Because I mean, if even if I try to save this, let's see what will happen. Yes, it it it's saved successfully, right? But this is something I don't want. Think about our blog website, right? The blog title should have some meaningful name. I don't want to have um, such a character. I don't want to allow such a character um, on a title column for any given users, right? So basically, if the users trying to post any title, I don't want to um, I don't want to accept these characters in a title. So I want to throw some validation error in the front end to the users. Hey, this character is not allowed as part of the title column. So that they can able to rectify it, right? They can able to change that value in the post title column. It looks weird, but once we see in action, it would get clear on what I'm trying to say in from the validation custom validation perspective. So let's take a look on custom validation. So in order to do the custom validation, you can define a function like validate um, post title, because you can give a any um, name. So this will accept the value, and let's say if not, basically I don't want um, um, this characters. If not in, um, let's say at and ash. Even you can use the regular expression of the Python, because Django it's running top of Python, right? You can use the regular expression concept. But for this video, I don't want to extend those concepts. I want to stick with this simple example, guys. But if you want to have the regular expression, then let me know in comment section. Maybe we'll try to implement in next video. Okay, if not in this character, um, so basically I don't want not all um, in value, which is our input, and I want to raise a validation error. So in order to use the validation error, so you have to import this module from Django, core exception validation error. Now I can raise validation error. Um, these characters are not allowed in title, something like this. Like add symbol, etc. So basically, we are just having some comment section here, and otherwise return value. So once you created the function, we can have, that is an optional argument called validators. So the validators will accept list argument. So you can pass this function here like this. And if I refresh the server, it's working. If If I go back to my post and click new post or add new post, let's say blog 11 at some symbol Django admin save all text two. I don't want to. Basically, you can do regular expression and also, but I want to stick with only these two characters. Block 10. If I save, any text. Oh, sorry. We cannot go with this approach because we have to provide the set of values to that any keyword and all keywords. So I don't want to go with that option. Let's stick with a single um, characters. So let's say I don't want allow the post title with @ symbol. So then if I refresh, let's say if I have block 10 @ then save. Value is not defined. Value is not defined. Should be. It should be the. Okay. I gave a capital letter. Let's refresh now. It's still accepted. Why? So what we are saying is, if not a in value, then rice. Oh, let's for a moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this. Else. So basically, what I'm trying to do is, if the symbol is exist in that value, then rise. Otherwise, return that value. Let's change to 11. If I save, perfect, right? So basically, what will happen is, when we try to save that option, this value has been passed to this function using this validator call, and this was looking for this character, and if this character exists in that value, then drives the validation error. If not, then return the actual value. What does it mean is, if I get rid of this @ symbol, then I should be able to save this, right? So that is the simple custom validation. Okay, if not at AD, basically, if not at in value, at the rate of value or the character, the value field, then return value or raise validation. Either way, you can also do that. Okay, let me do one more stuff. Let's say author email. So that is a built-in field type called email field, but I don't want to go with that email field because in order to show the custom validation, I'm going to stick with character field. So character field, um, let's say max length equal to 20 and null equal to 2 and blank equal to 2. Okay, here also I want to define a new validator called define validate email. Here the same value, it's an arbitrary argument, you can provide any arguments. And what I want to do is basically I want to make sure um, if the email ID it's not at letslearn.com, then I I want to raise a validation error. Basically, let's say if the value um, if value like let's learn.com, if okay, basically okay, what we can do is instead of checking the in value, we can have if not in value, then raise validation error, say accept only let's learn.com, something like that. Else, if the value has at let's learn.com, then we are okay with that, right? So then return the value. So we added the new column called author email. Basically, if the users want to post something, um, some post on along, also they want to provide their email ID, we'll accept only the email ID which is belongs to let's learn.com. If other than any other email if they provide, then we will reject that, or will raise the validation error in the Django admin. So once you created the function, so what the next step? We have to do the validators, right? Validators, and this is a argument, list of argument. You can mention the validator email. See, you should not call like this, though it is a function. We have to pass as a function reference. That's why the Django will call the arguments. Now we added the author email. So I'm going to the make migration, migrate, and run server. And if I go back to one of my existing posts, gmail.com, what is saying? Accepts only let's learn.com. If I change to let's learn.com, oh, one more issue. Oh, I can get rid of some value here. The total length we have given only max length is 20, right? So can get rid of one more thing. Let's learn.com. Now, if I save, okay, I should remove this not from here. Then if I save, it should work. Okay, so this is the way we can have our custom model validation for Django. So this is the only way we can do the validation? No, even you can do the validation in the Django forms, or even you can do the validation in Django template, views, and everywhere. But this is also one of the way we can do the custom validation. So I want to show you the difference between the built-in and versus the custom one. So I hope you guys understand the stuff. If you like this video, give thumbs up symbol. Also subscribe my video, and it would be also provide your comment section. Any feedback, it's plus or past negative, anything. I would try to change myself in order if you don't like the way I explain the concept. Okay, we'll see you in next video. Thank you.